Hello, this is Eileen, the environmental educator. And in this video, we're going to talk about, it's not just train derailments that can get toxins into the air and affect local communities, but what made the news last week was uh, Jack Daniel's distillery, and the town around it is completely smothered by black whiskey fungus. And this was the Daily Mail. This was March 4th. We have Insider. Well, this was February 26th, but the Jack Daniels Barrel House are causing an out of control black whiskey fungus in a Tennessee community, and the residents are enraged. Then the Guardian, it says that a facility right now is blocked as the vapor blamed for spreading the fungus, is continuing. So Jack Daniels wants to expand. And here's another article. This was Fox Business on right here, March 2nd.
We empower those who act.
Okay. Can you ever pull up a web page without videos starting and blaring? So Jack Daniels is causing some trouble down there. And the interesting thing is this distillery is called the Angel Share Distillery because that's what Jack Daniels calls the fumes that evaporate, and it goes to the angels. And so it looks like they call their tour the Angels Share, their distillery, the Angel Share Distillery, and they offer a tour, and well, that's euro, but right here in US dollars, it's $120, $119.99 to take this tour. And Jack Daniels, they even put out a video about it because it's such a great thing, but not according to the local community. So the furious Tennessee residents have been blanketed by black whiskey fungus after Jack Daniels failed to stop emissions leaking from its barrel houses. It says that the fungus mold is fueled by ethanol vapor releasing into the air, leading nearby properties, road signs, vehicles to routinely be covered in the sooty smog. It says that the fungus, dubbed the whiskey fungus, the black mold, has coated the small Tennessee community since emissions first began leaking from the Jack Daniels plant in 2018 before ramping up in recent years as the company expands its barrel house operation. And this is a road sign telling you that you have to stop ahead, and it just gets covered in black. Here's, a fence in front of a property. A fire hydrant is just covered. It covers the trees. Here's another sign: school bus, stop ahead. And this whole community is just drowning in this black fungus that the community has a different word for. They call it the devil's fungus. And this article here, it says that the ethanol vapor released through porous whiskey barrels during the aging of bourbon might bring a smile in the heavens, as the fumes are known as the angel share, but it can mean misery for locals. A strain of black whiskey fungus feeds on the alcoholic gases, coating neighborhoods around distilleries with a stubborn, moldy crust. It says that up to 2% of the volume of the alcohol can evaporate through the barrels each year as the drink matures, sending vapors into the air and encouraging the fungus. And residents have brought lawsuits complaining about the black mold that smothers walls, outdoor furniture, cars, trees, and road signs, and has adversely affected their lives and harmed property values. And one lady here, Christy Long, she's kind of leading the effort here. She owns a wedding and party venue, and the property is covered in hard to remove fungus. She demands an air ventilation system to block the ethanol vapor from seeping from the Jack Daniels plant. Her and her husband have spent about $10,000 annually power washing their house 4 times a year with bleach to get this fungus off of it. And right now, the company is planning the construction of 14 more warehouses on the site, an indication of the rapid growth of the brand. But a Jack Daniels spokesperson said that the company would not comment on the pending litigation, but that Jack Daniels complies with all local, state, and federal regulations regarding the design, construction, and permitting of their barrel houses, that they are dedicated to protecting the environment and the safety and health of their employees and neighbors. And the Longs, which have brought that lawsuit, said that when he and his wife first moved into their property in 2020, they were aware of the fungus and considered it minimal. At the time, Jack Daniels had 2 barrel houses in the area. Now the company has 6. And the difference between 2 and 6, I guess, has really taken over the town with this black fungus. And it's on track to have 20. So the community wants this to end. So the community says the fungus continues to ravage the town. Home values have plummeted while the community fears for its health. They say it's in the air, and you really probably don't want to be breathing that in, but nobody has done a test to determine if it's actually poisonous. The Long guy said he's extremely concerned. His wife has breathing problems, and one of the neighbors got cancer. So the community is demanding an air filtration system, which costs around $300,000 to be installed in the barrel houses to stop the ethanol emissions from escaping. But, the company says that the company already monitored its air quality and that the existing air filtration technology isn't meant for whiskey and bourbon facilities. It has to just be a natural process of, what happens in the aging process. So they're kind of at a disagreement down there. But here's some more pictures here. Here's a picture of the Longs, the couple that is bringing a suit that owns that wedding and events venue. And here's, I guess, the whiskey barrels. There's black fungus on a farm, on local buildings. Some animals have shown up dead. Now, they don't know if that's related to it. It's on trees. It's here it is, another barn on somebody's property, and then just all over this other property here on this house. It's all over the house. The people are just having to pressure wash their house with bleach. So, right here, it's all over a car. So this is just a problem right here again. It's all over these properties here. This is a problem that has been plaguing this area since they added just a couple of these plants, and they're looking on adding 14 more. So it isn't just train wrecks and that, things happen and dioxins get released into the air, in the water, in the soil. It can just be a plant that's operating in your neighborhood, and in all this equality, and where environmental impacts only happen in poor neighborhoods, um, boy, these people maybe aren't getting some press because they don't fit the criteria. And the EPA has had no comment on this. And here's just a few other places, this whole wall here where this black fungus is just taking over everything. And the towns here, they don't even clean these signs. They just simply replace them. And this article here says that the situation has grown so prevalent that officials no longer clean street signs and simply replace them after they've become illegible. Okay, so the speed limit sign, a school bus stop ahead sign, and a sign indicating that there's, a hidden stop sign ahead. They just become so covered over that you can't even see these warning signs on the streets, and it's so hard to get this fungus off of them that the community just replaces these signs instead of cleaning them. So this is an issue going down here in Tennessee, in what the locals call the devil's fungus, but um, Jack Daniels, they call it the angel's shear. This is their distillery, the Angel's Shear Distillery, because these evaporation fumes are so good they get up to the angels and give the angels a happy hour, I guess. So it's not just train derailment, people. There are a lot of things that can affect our lives, affect our properties, our health, and right now that's going on down in Tennessee near this Jack Daniels bottling facility. So stay tuned, people.